The main event, Rob Font versus Marlon Vera. This is a really good fight, actually, because look, Rob Font is really good. He stumbled a bit against Jose Aldo, didn't seem to be able to kind of find the mark and ended up dropping that decision. But against Cody Garbrandt, he looked outstanding. He was so goddamn fast. He was just so fast. He was so quick on the draw, just in and out. Boxing range was fucking outstanding. But I think the problem here is whether it stays in boxing range or in kicking range, because I think Marlon Vera he's probably going to have an advantage when it comes to kicking, because you saw that kick that he did to Frankie Edgar, sent him to the shadow realm, that front kick, but also it's the leg kicks that Cheeto, he's very good with those leg kicks. I mean, Sean O'Malley knows about Cheeto's leg kicks, you know what I mean? It like that ended the fight, effectively. And yeah, his leg kicks are excellent. They're an excellent rangefinder as well. And his front kicks to the body as well, the oblique kicks, he uses them really well to keep his range and keep the fight in kicking range, which is where Marlon Vera is going to excel. Now, this one it's a tough one to pick, because on paper, I think Rob Font is probably going to be slightly faster in boxing range. And if it stays in boxing range, there's every chance that Rob Font goes in and out and just kind of pieces Marlon Vera up. However, I don't think it stays in boxing range necessarily, not for the entire 5 rounds anyway. I think that there are going to be moments here where Marlon Vera is going to be able to take advantage. I think that Marlon Vera, I don't know why I'm saying this, because I have no real kind of evidence to back it up, but in my head, I feel like Marlon Vera is probably the more powerful of the two. I feel like he's going to have more fight-ending power than Rob Font. But I base that on absolutely nothing, which is a bizarre thing to say. But you know, sometimes you just have a feeling when you look at them two, and you look at their statures. I just feel like Vera's probably going to be the more powerful. And also Vera does have a lot more submissions. He seems to be a little bit slicker on the ground if it is to go there, but I do see it playing out on the feet. So it's a toss-up, really. You know, Rob Font is more than capable of winning this fight, but by the same token, Marlon Vera is also perfectly capable of winning this fight. So in that event, I usually go with the underdog, and Marlon Vera is the underdog in this one. Now, one thing that I would say about Marlon Vera is that generally speaking, he is a finisher. 15 of 18 wins are by way of finish, either a submission or a knockout. And you've got to remember that this one is 5 rounds, so he has an extra 2 rounds in which to get that finish. So for me, the double chance for Marlon Vera is 3.10. So you're getting better than even money on the double chance. That is a terrible bet, horrible. That is just terrible enough to stick onto my bet slip so I can bang that on my accumulator. So obviously the bets on their own are just not terrible enough for me, because if I really want to make sure this shit doesn't see the light of day. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is put them all together on one accumulator. I like to call it my MMA Lotto scratch card, because it's like having a scratch card, but you get to watch some people punch each other in the face in the process of drawing out the numbers, if that makes sense. It's just a fun way of doing it. I'll do this for fun. Remember, always gamble within your means. I always keep the stakes very, very low. I keep the odds high, and that's why these bets are terrible. But it is betting purely for fun. And yeah, so I'm going with Miocic to get the submission. I'm going with Collier to get the submission. Going with Romanov to get the knockout. That's one of the safest bets on the card. Now watch it go the other way. And then I'm going with Marlon Vera, double chance, submission, knockout, TKO, putting all those together on one 4-fold accumulator, 423.15 to 1. That is absolutely terrible. Don't touch that bet with a barge pole. Awful stuff. But either way, no, I'm looking forward to this event. Like I said, especially that main event, they're two guys that are really at the top of their game, and it's going to be a real fun one to watch. You get to see some of the classics like Mr. Andrei Arlovski still making that walk to the octagon after all these years. It's going to be a really fun event. I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of it. I'm going to be recapping this on Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. We'll see how these bets went. Most likely they all went into the toilet, but we'll find out. Until then, keep those odds long and those bets terrible.